Well, good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and we make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Tonight's game summary. Tonight, March 5th, we are playing the Montreal Canadiens, who are 23, 28, and 10, 11, 12, and 7 on the road. The Habs are in 7th place in the Atlantic Division with 56 points, 3 points out of the basement where Ottawa is located. But the Senators have 2 games in hand, so the bottom is not out of reach. They are 16 points out of the second wildcard spot with 2 games in hand on Tampa Bay. They are 1-7, losing the last 2 to Florida and Tampa Bay in shootouts. Except for the February 27th win against Arizona, they would be on an 8-game losing streak. They haven't won 2 in a row since mid-January. However, Florida and Tampa Bay are currently wildcard teams, with the Panthers being the team with the most points in the league, so they obviously can be dangerous. Their nickname Habs comes from the French habitants. Not that knowing this makes the nickname make any more sense. The Preds, 35, 25, and 2, 17 and 15 now at home, and with an 8-game winning streak, winning their last 3 here at home. What a game Saturday. The 5-1 win over the Avalanche. Congrats to Cody Glass getting a hat trick. Boy, that game was fun. The Preds are in the second wildcard spot with 72 points. They are still tied with the Kings, who won on Sunday. The Preds were in the first wildcard spot for the day after winning on Saturday night. They were 2 points then ahead of the Kings. The Kings then came back on Sunday and won, so now they're tied again. But for a brief moment, they were not just in the second wildcard spot. The Flames and Blues are 7 points back, both with 2 games in hand. So the Preds have something of a comfortable lead, but we still have 20-ish games to go. So nothing's, etched in stone yet. The Preds are 1-0 against the Canadiens, winning in Montreal back in December. The Preds held a 2-0 lead, scoring 1 goal in both the first and second periods, until Montreal got their only goal in the second with 35 seconds left in the period. This tonight is their last meeting of the year, so hopefully the Preds will get the series sweep. Thursday night against Buffalo ends the homestand. Then they'll be on the road for 4 games. So, the Preds at home, what can we look for tonight? The Preds are 17 and 15 at home with the 3-game winning streak. Since January 1st, they are 6 and 6 at home and 9 and 4 away. Kicking off the season after the December 16th win against the Caps, they were 11 and 6, so 6 and 9 at home since then. At home, the Preds still have not lost the first period and won the game. In games where they win, they are 10-0-7 in the first period, 3-8-4 when they lose the first period, or when they lose the game, 3-8-4 when they lose the game. So when they lose, 3 times they won the first period, 8 times they lost the first period, 4 times they tied. If they win the first period, they are 10-3 at home, losing the first, 0-8, and 7-4 if they tie. Saturday, they tied the first period and then won both the second and third periods. Oddly enough, at home, when they tie the first period and win the second, they are 3-2. In all these games, only the winning team scores in the third period. So going into the third period the other night, knowing that they had tied the first period, won the second period, as soon as they scored, game over. Ha! That's the thing about trends. That's the way it is for these games. All we need is for them to do something different the next time. On the road, when they tie the first and win the second, they're 5-0. So again, really kind of interesting. They've had 5 circumstances, both on the road and at home, where they tie the first period and win the second. A much more successful scenario when they're on the road, but 3-2, the 3-2 is not bad. So, like it to be better, always want to be better. They don't fare well at home in the second period. Those of you that have been listening to this realize that's why I started looking into this, because going to the games, watching them in the second period going, what in the world? So I had to go generate the data to back up the fact that I thought they were really bad in the second period. So they did win the second period the other night. They won the second period Thursday. So their record's a little bit better at home in the second period. Overall, 9-13-10. And the third is pretty well split, 12-10-10. Having won the third period the last couple of games, they're starting to buy us winning the third period, which is great, which is what you want. You want to win all the periods. It's hard to lose the game if you win all 3. During this current winning streak, the Preds have only lost 1 period. The third period when Vegas outscored the Preds 2-1. The Preds won 5-3, getting a goal from Nyquist with less than 2 minutes to play. Saturday night, they tied 1 period and won 2. The Preds have not lost this season when they win 2 periods, 22 times, 9 at home. They are 1-17 when losing 2 periods, 1-9 at home. The one win was the November 28th home game against the Penguins. The Preds scored 2 in the first, with the Pens scoring 1 in each of the second and third period. The Preds then won in overtime. So they also won 2 periods, but they lost 2 periods. But getting the first goal is currently a 2-1 advantage to the team getting it. If the Preds get the first goal, they are 12-5. If they don't get it, they're 5-10. So again, those of you that listen regularly know I kind of poo-poo the first goal. The Preds announcers, I heard them say a number of times that it was the most important thing to do, and I think that's wrong. But it sure doesn't hurt. So anyhow, that's the stats to look for tonight in the game against the Montreal Canadiens, the Habs. Thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.